Northern Michigan's election leader will be bringing you continuing coverage all evening. We have teams scattered across the state. Xavier Hershevitz is in the Detroit area following the Kevin Rinke campaign. And Katie Barecki is in Grand Traverse County following several races. But first, let's check in with 9 and 10's Eric Lloyd, who spoke to the governor today in Grand Rapids. He joins us live now. Eric? And tonight, Northern Michigan's election leader is here to bring you coverage of the races that matter to you. Our crews are spread out throughout the state. In Grand Traverse County, we're following a packed primary race in the 37th State Senate District. And we have crews with both the Tudor-Dixon and Kevin Rinke campaigns. They're both hoping to win the Republican nomination in the race for governor. And that is where we will start our coverage tonight. The gubernatorial primary hasn't been like any other in state history.
At 8 o'clock.
And it didn't take long for Tudor-Dixon to open a double-digit lead. Less than 2 hours after polls closed, the Associated Press called the race in her favor. Bill Freilich joins us here in the studio to break down some of the numbers over at our touchscreen. Bill?
She is going to take on Gretchen Whitmer in November, the first time two women have faced off for the state's highest office. And
Tudor-Dixon said for her, this race is personal. She mentioned topics like abortion rights and the economic fallout from the pandemic. This is the latest ruling over abortion rights in the state since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June. And the abortion issue is playing a major role in the campaigns for Michigan governor. Breaking news within the last half hour, Governor Gretchen Whitmer just filed a motion asking for a temporary restraining order to stop the state's prosecutors from enforcing the state's abortion ban. It comes after the Michigan Court of Appeals handed down a major ruling on the injunction stopping enforcement of Michigan's 1931 abortion ban.
Incredible in the worst way possible.
Some of the images pouring into our newsroom just show buildings just completely destroyed, cars flipped over. This tornado was massive and caused extensive damage. All of the little pieces of debris that we're seeing there, it's just incredible. Like, it was just ripped off buildings.
We had some pictures come in too, Tom.
We have several crews in the area following the latest from this system. 9 and 10's Zachariah Wheaton joins us live from Gaylord. Zachariah, what's the damage like where you're at, and what have you seen so far? We were there live in the aftermath of the tornado and continue to bring you the latest from the field. 9 and 10's Bill Freilich kicks off our team coverage. The trial for the 4 men involved in the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer is on break for the weekend, but we have a look at some of the jurors and how they ended up on the case. Now, for security reasons, attorneys were only allowed to see jurors' names and their questionnaires, but their backgrounds were discussed during jury selection. First tonight at 11, an update on the federal trial for the 4 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The trial will not resume tomorrow because of a case of COVID-19. The prosecutor for the federal trial in the plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Whitmer withdrew from the case. 2 men were acquitted, but the jury couldn't reach a verdict on the 2 others, prompting a future retrial. Today, the final undercover FBI agent involved in the case testified about their role, posing as the explosives dealer for the Wolverine Watchmen. Adam Fox and Barry Croft both had a mistrial after a hung jury couldn't agree on their fate in the first trial in the spring. 2 other men were acquitted, and 2 more took a plea deal. The Emmett County Sheriff's Office started investigating in February after being contacted by Child Protective Services. CPS told deputies 2 underage girls were possible victims of numerous sex crimes. Students are heading back to school across the nation. It's supposed to be an exciting time, but Lakeshore Children's Advocacy Center tells us it's when they see an increase in child abuse cases. Their warning comes after the disturbing sex crimes investigation in Emmett County that we told you about yesterday. Harold LeBeau was wanted for home invasion and kidnapping, among other crimes. 9 and 10's Zachariah Wheaton spoke with the Mason County Sheriff about the deputy-involved shooting. He brings us tonight's top story exactly 9 years after Trooper Paul Butterfield was shot and killed in the line of duty. There's new help for millions of Americans tonight as a new student debt relief plan was unveiled this afternoon by President Biden. Not all of the details of the plan have been released yet, but here's what we know so far. We all know that gas has seen some of the highest price hikes. In the last year alone, they've gone up 48%. And if you're in the market for a used car, you know those prices are high as well. I'm Andrea Ludema in Harbor Springs at Moeller Aerospace, where more than 200 local employees have played a role in the Artemis 1 launch that could happen this weekend. We are just 47 days away from one of Northern Michigan's biggest events, the National Cherry Festival. Animals at a Japanese aquarium are being fed cheaper fish, and some of them aren't very happy about it. But Michael, I kind of don't blame the otters and penguins.
Oh, no, not
I feel
at all.
like fish is something you don't skimp on.
Hey, there's good fish and there's bad fish.
And they say that's bad fish.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but winter is right around the corner.
And you're hanging out with us again.
Yes.
It is just an amazing day outside.
It is. There's only one other place I would rather be than right here on the 4, and it's outside. It is so nice.
I know.
I mean, I'll go outside. I'll figure it out.
I want to go outside.
Here to explain it all is Andrea Bushry, our Director of Farms Operations. Welcome to Cadillac and welcome to the 4.
Thanks.
You have quite the plans for us outside the Heritage House. Now, if you don't have a green thumb like myself, could I learn from this experience? Come in and learn to farm, learn to plant, grow?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this topic has been a conversation all
Yeah.
throughout the show.
Yes.
We decided in Michigan we would wear a Meyer or a Little Caesars or even like a Ford sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But Haley, you're not from Michigan.
No, I'm from Massachusetts, so I think just a Dunkin' sweatshirt would be the way to go.
Dunkin's,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And Tom, the big debate with Oreo, do you pull them apart or eat them whole?
Well, you tell me, because I have one right here.
Perfect Oreo eating weather? Is
Yes.
that what we're saying?
Yes. Now, myself, I would eat, we'll say a dark chocolate one, maybe a mint, but I wouldn't go to the stuff they talked about before.
I would give it a go. I don't think I would buy the whole package, but if
No.
you came to work and gave me one.
I mean, come on, right? Free Oreos, can you stop
Yes.
that? No.
No.
All right.
All right, well, you guys have a good night. We're going to enjoy our Oreos.
That's right.
I'm
Take
gonna
care.
Pull it apart.
No, don't do that. Whole.